Hello everyone, and once again welcome to my channel Madam Acts. So as many of you requested me to make videos on the current affairs of 2020, so here I am with a very important current affairs topic, that is 2020 important books and their authors. So today in this video we are going to discuss about the important books and their authors. Then we are going to discuss about the question related to this topic which has been asked in the NIFT entrance exam. So this topic is very important for you, and also for the NIFT entrance exams your mock tests and your practice is very important. So before starting the video, just let me tell you about a very useful website for NIFT entrance exam which will help you to take a lot of mock tests at a very affordable price. First we'll search on www.mentalk.in and click on the website. Then the website will open in front of you. Here you can see there is a list of all the important exams for which they provide you the mock tests. So here you can click on NIFT. Then you will find the list of the 5 mock tests in front of you. So you will get these mock tests at only rupees 59. Yes, so these 5 mock tests are priced at rupees 199, but if you'll use my referral code, which is AKS70, then you are going to get these mock tests at only rupees 59. So you'll be getting 2 free mock tests also along with the 5 mock tests. So that becomes 7 mock tests at only rupees 59. So you are getting each mock test at less than rupees 10. So hurry up now, grab this deal, and you can find all the information, my referral code and the link of the website in the description box. One more important thing about this website is that the quizzes here are designed by professionals according to the latest exam pattern of NIFT. So here you'll be getting the most expected exam questions. You will also learn how to manage your time, and also this will be very beneficial for you, and it is very affordable. That is only rupees 59. You are getting 7 mock tests. So hurry up now and grab this deal. Check the description box for more details. So now let us see the previous year question which was asked on this topic, that is books and authors in NIFT exam. So the question was, which economist is the writer of the book I Do What I Do? And the options are, first is Amartya Sen, second is Raghuram Rajan, third is Manmohan Singh, and fourth is Jagdish Bhagwat. So the answer of this question was Raghuram Rajan. But since this was asked in NIFT exam of 2018, so this isn't important for you. What is important is the books and authors of 2020. So let's start with the video. So here we have the authors and here we have the books written by them in 2020. So the first one is Kailash Satyarthi. He wrote the book COVID-19 Sabhyata Ka Sankat Aur Samadhan. Then the next is Madhav Bhandari, who wrote the book Ayodhya. You can write all these books and all these authors because they are very important for you. And if you concentrate on this video, you can learn the books and authors easily in this video itself. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are given in the description box. Next is Jairam Ramesh. His book is The Light of Asia, the poem that defined the Buddha. Coming to the next books, which are Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, who wrote the book The Shaurya Unbound Tales of Valor of the Central Reserve Police, and Samundar Samave Bund Mein. These are both the books have been written by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. So here you get to know about that who is the Lok Sabha Speaker. The name will be Om Birla. This can be asked in your GK section. Next is Amish Tripathi and Bhavna Roy, who wrote the book Dharma, Decoding the Epics for a Meaningful Life. Another is Amrit Raj, who wrote the book Indian Icon, a Cult Called Royal Enfield. Dr. A. Suvanthanu Pillai, who wrote the book 40 Years with Abdul Kalam, Untold Stories. Coming to the next slide, the first author here is Norman D. Palmer, who wrote the book Future of Regional Cooperation in Asia and the Pacific. Next is Kirpal Singh Ji, who wrote the book Guru Nanak Dev. Here you can see the image also of Kirpal Singh Ji. Next is Prem Prakash, who wrote the book Reporting India, My 70-Year Journey as a Journalist. Next is Rajendra Darda, who wrote the book Majhi Bheet, means my voice. Coming to the next slide, here we have the author, who is Meena Iyer, who wrote the book I Am No Masiha on Sonu Sood. So here you can see the image of the book. Next is Radha Krishna Prakashan, who wrote the book Boski Yana. Next is Ralabandi Sriram Chakradhar and Amar Sarda Deepthi, who wrote the book Thavasmi, Life and Skills Through the Lens of Ramayan. Then Sasindran Kalenkeel, who wrote the book Rasathi, The Other Side of Transgender. Then Anupam Kher, who has been a very important personality. He has written the book Your Best Day is Today. You can see the image here. Next is Chinmay Tumbe, who wrote the book The Age of Pandemic, 1817 up till 1920, How They Shaped India and the World. Then coming to Tamal Bandyopadhyay, who wrote the book Pandemonium, The Great Indian Banking Tragedy. Next book is by Randeep Guleria and co-written by Chandrakanta Leheria and Gagandeep Kang. The book name is Till We Win, India's Fight Against COVID-19 Pandemic. Next book is written by Dr. Pradeep Kumar Srivastava. The name of the book is Bye Bye Corona. Here you can see the image. Another book has been written by Sarab Preet Singh. The name of the book is Night of the Restless Spirits, Stories from 1984. Next is Suman Dubey, who wrote the book The Fixer, Winning Has a Price, How Much Will You Pay? Coming to the next author, who is N.K. Singh, who wrote the book Portraits of Power, Half a Century of Being at Ringside. Then Deepankar Aron, who wrote the book On the Trails of Buddha, A Journey to the East. Then coming to Shashi Tharoor, who wrote the book The Battle of Belonging. You can see the image also. Next is Pradeep Gurha, who wrote the book Mr. Prime Minister, We Shrank the Dragon. Then Union Minister Balasaheb V.K. Patil wrote the book De Vechwa Karani. Here you can see the image of De Vechwa Karani. Then G.B.S. Sindhu wrote the book The Khalistan Conspiracy. A former RNAW officer unravels the path to 1984. Next book has been written by Kumar Padampani Bora. The book's name is Discovering the Heritage of Assam. Next is Anand Neelakantan, whose book was The Very Extremely Most Naughty Asura Tales for Kids. Next is Manish Sisodia, who wrote the book Bapu the Unforgettable. Another is Dr. Krishna Saxena, who wrote the book A Bouquet of Flowers. Then Chef Vikas Khanna wrote the book Kitchens of Gratitude. Ramila Thapar wrote the book Voices of Dissent. And Arundhati Roy wrote the book Azadi, Freedom, Fascism and Fiction. Here you can see the book of Arundhati Roy. Coming to the next slide, so here we have Jatin Paranjpe and Anand Vasu, who wrote the book Cricket Drona. Then Sri Iyer wrote the book Who Painted My Last Red. Then Jitendra Singh wrote the book on gastric cancer. Chetan Bhagat wrote the book One Arranged Murder. Here you can see the image. Arjun Subramanya wrote the book Full Spectrum India's Wars 1972 till 2020. Then Bijal Vacharajani wrote the book Abandoned Time, Writings by Children on the COVID-19 Pandemic. Next is a book written by Raksha Mantri or Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. The book's name is Connecting, Communicating, Changing. Next is Dalai Lama and Franz Alt, who wrote the book Our Only Home, A Climate Appeal to the World. Here you can see the image. Neena Rai wrote the book Amazing Ayodhya. Then Yatish Yadav wrote the book Raw, A History of India's Covert Operations. Then Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and Smriti Irani wrote the book The Swachh Bharat Kranti. Next is Nirupma Yadav. She wrote the book Vishesh, Code to Win. Next is Vijay Kumar Chaudhary, who wrote the book Siyasat Mein Sadasyata. Then Matthew McConaughey wrote the book Green Lights. Narendra Singh Tomar wrote the book Best Practices in Digital India Land Records Modernization Program. Here you can see the image. Next book is written by Viral V. Acharya. The name of the book is Quest for Restoring Financial Stability in India. Then Dr. S. Jaishankar wrote the book The India Way Strategies for an Uncertain World. Then Hussain Zadi wrote the book The End Game. Then Pema Kandu wrote the book The Tangrams. Stephen King wrote If It Bleeds. Then Ruskin Bond, he wrote the book A Song of India. Here you can see the image. Coming to Tenzin Gyatso Taethong, who wrote the book His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, an illustrated biography. Then R.C. Bhargav wrote the book Getting Competitive, a Practitioner's Guide for India. Then Urjit Patel wrote the book Overdraft Saving the Indian Saver. Then Amish Tripathi wrote the book Legend of Suhail Dev, the King Who Saved India. Next is Dinyar Patel, who wrote the book Nauroji, Pioneer of Indian Nationalism. Then Shobha De, she wrote the book Lockdown License. Then Ministry of Information and Broadcasting released a book on 1 year of Modi 2.0 towards a self-reliant India e-booklet. It was an e-booklet. Then J.K. Rowling wrote the book The Icabog. Ruskin Bond wrote the book Hope on My Adventures on Boats, Trains and Planes. Then Fang Fang wrote the book Wuhan Diary, Dispatches from Quarantined City. Then Colonel V.N. Thapar and Neha Dwivedi wrote the book Vijayant at Kargil, The Life of a Kargil War Hero. Then Prahlad Singh Patel wrote the book Professor B.B. Lal, India Rediscovered. Then Uma Bal Subramania wrote the book Sayaji Rao Gaikwad III, the Maharaja of Baroda. Next is V. Krishnaswamy, who wrote the book Shuttling to the Top, the Story of P.V. Sindhu. So this video has been very long, and it has been long because it is the compilation of all the books of 2020. So when we are covering the books of a whole year, then obviously it is going to be very a bit longer, but it will be very beneficial for you if you listen to this video at least twice or thrice. Then you can easily learn the books and the authors. Next is Mary Jordan, who wrote the book The Art of Her Deal, The Untold Story of Melania Trump. Next is Nobel laureate J.M. Coetzee, who wrote the book The Death of Jesus. Then Smriti Zubin Irani wrote the book Chronicles of Change Champions. Then National Book Trust India released the book Corona Studies Series. Next is Apurva Kumar Singh, who wrote the book The Commentary and Digest on the Air Act 1981. Then Abhay K. wrote the book The Bloomsbury Anthology of Great Indian Poems. And Amit Shah wrote a book on Karma Yodha Granth, which is based on Narendra Modi image. Next is Claude Api, who wrote the book End of an Era, India Exists, Tibet. Then Gauri Khan wrote the book My Life in Design. Then Richard H. Taylor Sass R. and Sunstein wrote the book The Little Book of Green Nudges. Then Gunmeet Singh Chauhan wrote the book Invertonomics, 8 Ideas to Transform India. Then Sheila Bernstein wrote the book Nothing to Lose. And again, Sheena Bernstein also wrote the book My Story in My Own Words. Then Pope Francis wrote the book Dream. Coming to the next slide, in which Ramchandra Guha wrote the book The Commonwealth of Cricket, a lifelong love affair with the most subtle and sophisticated game known to humankind. Then Gurcharan Singh and M.S. Unikrishnan wrote the book Pitching is Straight. Then Indian Army Chief General M.M. Naravane wrote the book National Security Challenges, Young Scholars' Perspective. Then coming to the last slide, in which Professor Dr. Stuti Sharma wrote the book Elements of Quantitative Genetics, a Conceptual Approach. And Dr. Rupa Shari, she wrote the book Sutra Ne Ved Nachi Sutra Ek Anbhav. Then Rajendra Sachar wrote the book In Pursuit of Justice, an autobiography. And then P.S. Sridharan Pillai, the governor of Mizoram, wrote the book O Mizoram. So these were all the important books and authors, and now your homework is that in the comment section, you are going to tell me the books of Anupam Kher, then Smriti Irani, then J.K. Rowling and Ruskin Bond. So comment all the books of these authors. And if you like the video, you can like the video, share it with your friends. And also you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel, which is going to help you a lot for your NIFT preparations. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Happy learning.